I finished cleaning up the chassis and the IF cans and the tuning cap and have them all remounted. Got the controls back remounted and working quite nicely. So now on to reinstalling the rebuilt filter cap and the power transformer. I just finished remounting the power transformer, so now it's time to rewire this whole area. Luckily I took a bunch of reference photos, and I've got my schematic and my parts locator, and that should be enough to reconnect power switch, volume control, the AC line filter, power transformer, and the 3-suction electrolytic capacitor, and finally the speaker. I think I had said earlier that all the resistors chucked with intolerance. Well, that turned out to not quite be true. I did eventually come across this guy, rather charred looking. That's supposed to be 15K. It's not only measuring off, but it's also rather nasty looking. So I'm going to replace that. And yeah, it's modern looking, but it'll get the job done. I'm pretty sure I've got everything wired back in properly, and I replaced that 15K resistor. Last thing left to do is to wire the speaker back in. First, I'm going to reconnect 3 wires here, and they're all basically the same color, so I'm going to have to be a little bit careful. I'll wire these 3 up and then use a continuity check to see which wire is going to what and make sure I get them reconnected back in here properly. Because I need to make sure that I don't blow anything out. I don't want to put the fuel coil across what should be the output transformer. So fuel coil's down there, and one end of the fuel coil goes over and up and over to the output transformer. So that's why there's only 3 wires instead of 4. Otherwise there'd be 2 going to the fuel coil and 2 going to the output transformer. One's in common, so the common one, I'll pick that off first and then make sure I get the right other wire to go to the plate of the 6F6G output tube on the other end. The last wire should be the other side of the fuel coil that should go to the red lead on the electrolytic capacitor. Alright, I got the speaker wired back in, and I'm pretty sure I got it right. Also, a few days ago, I repaired the speaker cone with some Eileen's tacky glue. So, it's in pretty good shape. It just leaves a couple last things. I need to reinstall some grid cap leads, like the one that goes to the 6A8. It's around here somewhere, and here it is. This goes right from the tuning cap to the top of the tube. I disconnected it when I took the tuning cap out for cleaning. And then I need to pop the rest of the tubes back in and the tube shields, and then I'm going to try firing this up. Alright, ready for another power up. Now, while cleaning this, I did tweak the screws on these IF cans. So I imagine the alignment's going to be off horribly, but maybe we'll get lucky and get some sound. Oh, and I did, I think, find the right bulb for that, so it shouldn't be so blindingly bright. In fact, the bulb that I had in there for a while, it actually burned out. So let's see how this goes. And now that I have a functioning switch, I can actually turn it on down there. I won't reinstall that dial until I'm completely done. I don't want to risk damaging it. Alright, I see tubes lighting up. It's a good sign. Of course. Hear a hum out of the speaker. The hum changes with the volume control. So a good sign. She's hooking up on the antenna. That's right here. Don't know what band I'm in, so just switching the band switch, no difference. tuning a bit. Nothing. Well, that's not very exciting, is it? Didn't think I'd tweak. So a little something. Just done that for a moment, try tweaking these IF cans and see if I can get lucky and hone in something just by sound. I've got it tweaked to the point where I can start to make out some stations. So I think I can start doing a better alignment by ear now. So I'm going to start towards the speaker side and work my way back towards the front end.
About Kaner with 24. Then next up, I believe it's Hossa with 17. You think I'd take Kaner off the board? Is that too easy of a pick? No, keep him on there. Okay. But I want to hear from you guys. The number one stop.
That was way off.
There isn't one reason that they've done this. We all know that. But maybe there's a guy that you think, okay, if he wasn't doing this, the Blackhawks are not sitting here looking like they're obviously going to win the President's Cup very, very early in the season. Just a handful, not even halfway through the shortened year. 312-644-67.
I'll do this with our RF generator later, but for now. Oh, and I should mention, obviously the radio's working, which is fantastic. I guess I got all my wiring right. Tuning cap was, the trimmer cap was pretty much dead on the way it was.
Scored at the 16-minute mark of the first period.
Alright, so right now I have the volume all the way down and I can actually hear the station a bit, so the gain on this is really good.
Expecting. And Kane and Taves also guys that just dominated.
Lots of power.
See that tonight. Kane had it.
Let's see if I can get rid of a little bit of static by grounding the chassis. Because I get a lot of AC line on my, I get a lot of noise on my AC line, and the filter caps on the AC line go to the chassis, and right now I don't know the chassis grounded, so there's nowhere for those caps to really filter out to. So I'm going to clip it on here and then just stick the other end into the ground on my power strip over here. Helped a little bit, but still pretty bad. Let's try a different station.
Playing Columbus tonight, a back-to-back effort. You just came off an
It's not so bad.
victory against the St. Louis Blues.
That one station's just a bit noisier than others.
And the impact on the air we all breathe. With the new label, all this information in a more usable format. Things
fine. You know, that's okay. I love dark chocolate. It's a fine food. It's full of antioxidants. It actually helps your metabolism. Position. Right now, we're just not there. But, you know, more confident now than I was last
It's got
time.
a lot of gain. I haven't tested the tubes yet, but these tubes, at least the 6F6 I'm sure is in really good shape.
Those are not priced. And you see what you pay. You see the total price up front.
So I'm gonna find some music. Now, unlike most Philcos, there's no tone control on this radio. More typically, they have a power switch that has a 2 or 3 tone position on it, and the volume is a separate control. But on this one, I think it's because a little bit more of an economy model. Power switch, volume, 2 bands, and then tuning. I mention that because sometimes with the tone controls, if you're listening to just vocals versus music, you might want to adjust that and you can make it sound better. But right with this radio, this is all I've got.
I'm the guy that wrote that book, What Would Believe It Lie. I was thinking about the good
Tuning's a little bit touchy too. higher end radios would have an inner knob for fine and outer for coarse. This, I have to be really careful when I turn it. Even though there's a little bit of a planetary drive in there, I think there's 3 ball bearings in here that do a little bit of a reduction. It's not that much. So the heck of it. See about the shortwave band. I'm not sure if I think I might just be picking up, I don't know, maybe harmonics of the AM band or something like that. Or maybe these are real shortwave stations, I'm not sure.
Bring it every night. You know, they make sure, we're not exhausted all the time.
Yeah, that's definitely an AM station. Now, if you recall on the tuning dial, the shortwave band only covers this little segment, so the rest of this may just overlap with the AM band. Not sure. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is go through the alignment procedure, which is pretty straightforward. And then I went ahead and reinstalled the dial so I could see how well the channels line up, and it's not too far off. Also just went over and fired up my little AM transmitter kit and some public domain music so we can hear how it sounds. It should be around 12 or 1300, I think.
AM 12.
There I am. It sounds pretty good, I think.
Old brother Deacon by the old fireplace, run that sister one all for a race. Overtook her way uptown.
It's a little bit of noise.
She got warm and turned his damper down. She's a hum-dum-dang-a-prom-dang.
Hard to say if it's because of my ground not being so hot, or my computer, or the camera generating some noise that's being picked up, or just the radio itself. Otherwise, it sounds just fine, I think.
She ran way back, she knocked at the knees and she called a jack. Steady, James, steady, don't you come.
Alright, so what's left? I haven't explored the shortwave, or police band they call it, too much, so I'm not quite sure if that's really working the way it should or not. I'll get an RF generator out and actually generate something, because I'm not actually receiving anything in that portion of the band there. Or very, very little. Nothing worthwhile listening to, but whatever. AM band is working fine. So that leaves the major task of the cabinet. Also, the chassis, because it was so pitted and rusted, yeah, where I removed the rust, and it doesn't look so hot, the cadmium plating's gone, versus other areas where cadmium plating's still pretty good, it's nice and shiny. For now, I'm just going to leave it. This isn't exactly a super high-end radio, I don't want to spend a ton of time on it. Maybe at some point in the future, I'll fill in the pits with some Bondo glazing and then paint this, but for now, it's been de-rustified, And I put kind of a protective film of oil on here, so I don't think it's going to be rusting anytime soon. Here's a quick reminder of what the cabinet looks like. No, I haven't done any work to it yet. I really want to get back to my other outstanding projects. I'm sure you're all dying to hear what the Philco 15DX speakers will sound like, and I want to get back to my predictive TVs and so on. So I think I'll just get to this when I've got some free time here and there. Plus, the weather's still rather cold, and I don't want to be spraying any lacquer anyways. So for the time being, that's it for this project. I hope you enjoyed this video on restoring a Philco 3862.